Hello everyone, this is Wolf. Back for some more Minecraft. There we go. Uh-oh, I just spoiled it. So, this episode is going to be all about making the castle. We are going to concentrate on the walls, we're going to create some of the form, but to do that, we need a block palette. And apparently, phantoms are the thing right now. Hang on. This is what I get for spending so much time on the ground. So, with that said, this is the block palette I've chosen for the walls, which is right here, and the roof, which is right here. And yes, those things are being really loud. Okay. Yes, this is cold block. This one right here. Trust me, it'll make sense once I actually start doing it. But for now, and primarily for today, we're going to be working with these blocks. Mainly these three, and then if we have some time, we'll do some details with the other blocks. Yeah, I know, there's andesite sticking off to the side here. Mostly that's just me wanting to see if I can add, like, rubble piles and stuff around it. So, I did just mine up a bunch. I'm not joking, I mined up a bunch. But for the most part, we're going to be dealing primarily in the bricks. Not going to be super pretty this time around. But don't worry, it will look good as we start adding details in over the next couple of streams. Which is primarily the focus for this week, actually. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start grabbing our supplies. And because stone brick is going to be so important, I'm going to need to have a lot of it. It is essentially our filler. I don't have much mossy brick, but I can grab a bit. And cracked brick. There we go. So just like last time, I'm going to swap out a few tools to get needed. Let's do that instead. Still want my bow. And I'm going to restock my bow. Stock on some arrows. It also gives me a perfect opportunity to start down here in what would otherwise be kind of a awkward space. So we have right there an existing floor level which I would like to maintain. So this is a good spot for us to start building up some of the more interesting details. There we go, full arrows. One of the important things to consider when you're building up walls is you don't want something straight and flat, which is what I've done right here. I've added in a natural amount of depth, which you can then augment over time. That does actually look pretty dang good. So I actually didn't include those because those can be textural or detail-oriented pieces that you can add in later. For now, we're basically going to continue this same design, and we're going to bring it up to about this level all along this way. So without further ado, let's get started. I just goofed. Oh well. Be a bit nicer now that I have so much extra to work with. This area is going to be weird, so I'm just going to throw that in there. Not going to be able to do a whole lot to make this super blend in, but I could actually do something else structurally here, so I'll allow it for now. Yes, that just happened. It didn't fall down there. So, as I previously stated, I should probably pay attention to where I'm going and do it this way. When you're placing blocks like this and you have a palette or, in this case, alternating textures to work with, don't feel like you have to follow a specific pattern. Just go with it. Nothing is so dependent. Oh, there goes the mob farm. So dependent on being perfect that even a small mistake will throw you off. It's what it is. That's why I array the blocks as they are right now, because it allows me to just randomly scroll wheel a little bit to make some changes. I could do a few other... Oh, hey, Gabriel. Sorry, I was a little into my explanation. Not much, just relaxing after a really long day at work, and wanted to get some more progress on the castle. So, with that said, this is going to be a long one of just lots of placing of blocks. So, just warning you right now, this is going to take a while. Just restocking stacks in here. So, all right, now I'm up to the level of the floor, which is not enough. Okay, but I do need to start enclosing this area so I can then begin determining the height of the overall space. So I think it's about time I stop with this wall and start working on that. Oh, this one is just straight regular brick, so I'm going to go around and break a few of these. I know I didn't for the other one, but having the occasional spot where it's broken up will be beneficial to the eye. I maybe just messed that up. Hang on. I did. Okay. Easy fix. The important thing here is that you just go with it. So. Oh, you want me to check on the sheep farm? I'll head over there in a second and I can show you. I've not AFK'd since I built it, so it's not been able to collect a huge amount, but since it's technically in the spawn chunks, a good amount should have already begun forming in there. So, alright, I can make my way over now. So, occasional little detours like this aren't too big of an issue. I did make some changes down in the collection area as well, and I combined the total amount of wool that I'd collected by hand with it, so I would have a decent supply for this part of the build. So, I made a small storage area. Small being relative. I know. But so far we are... This is just in the last, like, 20 minutes. How much it will collect. 20, maybe 25 minutes. This is what's being collected. So... Hey Dane, thank you for coming, hopping on. I really appreciate it. Just showing off my over-the-top wool setting. Currently, this is the one I have the most of, but getting there. We've got a couple. We are definitely making progress. So. Yeah. We've got all kinds of stuff in here. Hey, I'm planning on just letting this thing run constantly, and it's going to be collecting... It's going to be collecting and adding in tons of wool. How have you been, Dane? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. But I was worried. So, let's just go back to more decorating here. Yeah, with these walls, though, I'm hopefully going to be able to begin framing the exterior look of the castle, and that should bring a bit of a breakup to it. So, that's good to hear, Dane. Well, since we last spoke, and last time you saw me on stream, I've moved. I moved about 30 miles, so. It's been a lot. A lot has happened in the last couple weeks, but you know, that's how life goes sometimes. So that's how life goes. I'm now much closer to work. Instead of about an hour and change, it's 10 minutes. Let's restock our blocks in here. So, we've been getting a fair bit of rain here too. We need it though. It's been bone dry. They were actually starting to get concerned about the delta drying up, which is not a small deal at all. Oh. See, now that we've got those two walls to the same height, let's start working on this one. Start bringing everything up to also that same height, which is basically one more block and we'll be there. So, we went probably the better part of 14 months without a good rainstorm here. It's just been brutal. Ah, that's not fun. But hey, these things happen. So, alright, so we've got this section of wall here, and I think I'm going to bring it up a bit higher to match the height of this tower's current size. Maybe I'll bring the tower up a block as well. Yeah, I'll bring the tower up one more block. That will allow me to just even everything off. And then I can just start expanding from here. So, go ahead and DM me your Telegram if you want, Dane. I'd love to chat with you more. Oh. Oops. Did I really do that? Okay. Let's go back up here. And start over again, adding more layers to the wall. And ultimately, this is one of the most tedious parts of it, but also the most rewarding. The time spent adding layers and layers to the wall. Oh. Never discount its power, though, because this will create a really cool look with really minimal effort, to be perfectly honest. Couldn't get such levels of detail in it. So that might end up being a little too much right there, but it's okay. Ultimately, there's no constraints to have to do things exactly the right way. It's one of the things I like about Minecraft is you can just do it however you want. So. Progress. Hang on, I might be able to do something here. Just a second, Great Dane. That might be a little tricky. Let me think on it, Dane, and I'll see if there's a way I can message you directly. So. We can figure it out. No big deal. Okay. And here we go. Got a few more levels to go. Layers to go. I'm gonna go there. Yeah, I don't really do Facebook or anything Facebook owns, so that's why. I have way too many family that use it, and it's just drama central. It really is. And unfortunately, I don't really care for drama in my personal life, to be honest. I'm not one of those people that needs to be constantly, oh my god, it's the hottest thing. That's not me. No. I totally should do the Bye Felicia thing to a couple people, though. See how they react. I probably wouldn't get it, but still, it would be funny. Alrighty. soon that wall is all going to be good. This is the reason I started this area. In this area is it's relatively small, easy to work with. Probably hear my kitty cat making a bit of noise just then. He's a kitty cat. They like to do things themselves. I don't know how the other one's currently perched on top of a pillow that's standing on its edge, but okay. Cats can be weird. Oh. When you're adding in textured sections of the wall like this, you have to remember that you're creating a color and depth block and breakup to it, but at the same time you also have to remember that there will be elements to it that are going to appear flat. That's why you have to have a broader color palette. You need to, not so much need to, but should. And I pretty strongly emphasize this. You should consider adding in some lighter variants, some darker variants of the same color palette that you've been working with. It will only be helpful. It does add more effort into the overall building process, but that's generally how it goes sometimes. You just have to take the time to play with it. But in the end, as long as you get something that you find is rewarding, be happy with it. There we go. Got this section of the wall up. I'm going to torch it because I know it's not lit up well enough, especially over here. Okay. I'll do a little bit of torch spam. And this section of wall, I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. This whole area, I might put like a tower here or something. I don't know. That's one of the big unknowns right now, is it just so many things that I could do. So anyway, I'm just going to go back over this way into my trading hall, which I still have to put villagers in. My breeder, which is still a work in progress. Let's raise this up to the height of that. I just messed up that jump really well. There we go. Color variant. I have plenty of blocks, though I am running a little short on vines, so that's my limiting factor, is the vines, but I think I'll have enough. I'm not going to be struggling at all. I did. Wasn't really my thing. I'm sorry. I'm a bit tricky when it, picky when it comes to music. Not trying to be mean or anything. It's just it took me years to find music that I liked in general. So yeah, I'm just picky. So yeah, I'm just picky. That's all I can say. I know it's terrible, but it's all I can say. And see, now we've got this nice broken up, flat, but still broken up surface there. It looks like it's got depth to it. It's got splashes of color to it. I think this is going to look really nice once I've got the whole thing this. Oh. Okay. Let's go up 2 more blocks. 2 more. Okay. And then this whole section will be done. Nice. I really should spend some time cleaning the house here, but just work and everything, it's a process. So much that still needs to be done, but that's okay. Part of moving. When you move, you just everything literally gets upended. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna toss a couple torches up here, even though it's not dark. I'm pretty sure things can still spawn up here. Those are all potentially spawnable spaces, but I'll deal with those later. Alright. We have this area taken care of. Thank you, Gabriel. It's still very, very early in the stages here, but let's go and take a look at it from up above here. Okay. For a small section of the castle, that wasn't too bad to build. Now let's go do it a bunch more times. No, I just, but all fixed there. I think what we'll do next is we'll connect this section of the wall here and make it more cohesive along that space. First, let's stock up on blocks again. Wrong chest. And more stone brick. So we need to go about that high along this space. So that'll help me define where to do this and how to do it. Okay. I have a kitty cat in my lap now. He is very intently staring at the screen. And he might just be internally critiquing me on my block placing technique. Now he's sitting on my arm. Cats can be so much fun sometimes. Sometimes they can be annoying. Oops. There we go. Hi, why are you? Oh yeah, I love to cook. Oh, I have a well-stocked kitchen. I'll just say that I have a very well-stocked kitchen. At least I will once it's once I'm done moving in. So, a bunch of stuff is still intact. Do you like to cook, Gabriel? Go. Alright, we've got this section of the wall now at the height that it needs to be. I know it doesn't match the height of the room here, but that's okay. Since I think I can kind of sort of add a little bit more as time goes on. So, that tower is going to be the next project after I get the perimeter wall here going. So, this is a good spot here to work on it. And here, this part's just like mildly brain numbing, but it works. It's a nice way to just de-stress from things. Place a few blocks. Try not to get pricked by the bush you place there for decoration. End up failing failing anyway. Oh, that's okay. So I cook for others. Oh. The thing is that once you find something that you like cooking, for example, do it in a way that you're happy. If that means you like cooking spicy food, or you don't like cooking spicy food, or you like cooking with cheese, fine. That's one of the beauties of cooking is you can cook to the taste of your audience. If your audience is you, do that. If what you want to do is cook for large groups of people and have them like what you make, then cook what they're going to like. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. Let's see. Alrighty, since this is going to be considered the front here, I'm going to go ahead and discontinue the perimeter wall here in a moment. I want to bring this corner up though. It'll bug me if I don't. Really? There we go. Alright. Like I said, this is going to be a lot of block placing today. Now that's brought up to this height. We're going to add the next block layer. The final one. Unfortunately, I have to navigate around the trees I made. But hey, that's part of the fun here. Slowly getting pricked to death. So, I mean, I play Minecraft. I play video games. Pretty much my hobby. So, as much of a hobby as it could be, I guess. Yeah. Alright, we've got the perimeter wall here. Let's go look at it from the outside. Geronimo! I really need to get feather falling on my boots. Alright. Oh, yeah. It's coming along. It's coming along quite nicely, actually. So, I do want there to be a special feature for this tower here. So let's go ahead and build it up to the same height as that wall right there, because I want there to be like a bridge connecting across here. So, as with some of the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and texture it a bit to add some more complex blocks to it. Oh well. There we go. Now we can bring this up to the same height as the... Wow, I am getting lots of messages. Lots of messages. Okay. Don't know why I just did that, but it works. Now, unfortunately, this section is going to be dark. It's going to be dark in the middle. In general, the whole thing is just going to be dark. So let's actually tweak the location of this torch, because that'll bug me if it's not exactly in the center. Mild OCD moment there. Apologies. Not really, no. There's just several different elements to it. So there's a tower here, there's a tower on the far side, the mob farm is a tower. It's just elements of the build. So that's, I mean, I have built castles around towers. If I could still log into it, I would show you the reloaded tower I built, but yeah. Uh, but I mean, towers are just a feature. They're just a part of what you're building. If you're doing something that involves a lot of complex shapes, that just tend to encourage you to use something a little bit more daring, like towers, spires, weird roof forms. So that's what I'm going for here. Is I'm trying to challenge myself. I'm doing things in a smaller scale, in a denser place. Yeah, it's a process, but at the same time, it's also helping me push my own build limits. So, which I think is positive. Uh, 2 more blocks to go above this one. Okay. Snapping fingers real fast. Fingers are getting stiff. But yeah, we're gonna cover a lot today, I think. I know, yes, last time I promised lots of farms and then didn't deliver. I got what I could get in, but at the same time, the wool farm's a cool wool farm. So I think I need to actually go one more up over this. Dang it. Oh well, I'll drop down and grab it in a bit. Okay. That. um. Yeah, that I'm not sure how to do. I mean, I do have a Bedrock account. I can play on Bedrock. I just don't know if I can play on servers or LAN connections with somebody. This is one of those unknowns. I need to go up another block. Okay. Oops. Oh well. I'm going down there in a moment anyway. Geronimo. Break out there. And we have a tower here. This is just the base of a tower. The tower is going to go much, much taller. Okay. Maybe I can figure something out at some point. So, probably arrange like a community play day or something. That'd be kind of cool. Now we get into the complicated parts of the castle. Believe it or not, everything that I've done so far has been the easy stuff. I'm gonna go over here to my handy dandy tree that I failed to jump onto. That happened. Let's go over here. Well, there we go. So believe it or not, all of this stuff is easy stuff because it's all going to be at roughly the same height. When creating a castle in the past, in medieval times, for example, one of the things they would do is they would have a standard approach vector, a way for you to approach the castle, and then everything else would have these tall, imposing walls. So maybe I might do that. I don't know if the redstone would work the same way. But with the tall imposing walls on one side that are all kind of uniform and didn't really have a lot, usually there would be one approach, one way of coming into the castle that would be a little bit easier. The walls would be lower, and for the most part, it would be approachable. That's because you don't want it to be impossible for you to get troops and supplies into your castle. Well, I'm trying to account for that in my design process here. I know I'm probably biting off a bit more than I can chew, but weird, why not? Okay. Yeah, it's a pigman. But there's no others around. Oh. It's just the one. Sure, I mean, we can... I'm looking forward to it. That's the thing, is I'm looking forward to it, so... I want to be able to try to connect more with the community and build it up, so... I'm all for it. I'm game. So. Alright, so for this more complicated section here, first I'm going to level it off with about that block. So I'm going to bring that all the way across here. So. I might need to just go all the way down to here. Well, that happened. Off my own castle walls. I'm not careful, I'll defend straight myself. Oh, kudos to you if you get the reference. Okay. Should probably put a torch back here, just to be on the safe side. Alright. One more block up will be the height of that wall. From there, we can start blending and making decisions on how it should look for the rest of it. Okay. I'm also going to bring this area up a bit as well, so it's consistent here. So what this is going to be is a kind of 4 wall. Oh. Iomavase. I remember that. Oh. So as the castle wall drops from the higher, more imposing section to the lower sections here, creating almost a terrace design, I need to make sure that is a part of this construction process. I factor in the scale of it. If I just build straight, tall, high walls, it'll look kind of inorganic. I do want a certain amount of organic nature to this. And of course, right here, this is going to be one of the guard gatehouses. This is going to be the gatehouse. Over here is going to be another part of it. So I think... Let's see. Let's try to go up 4 blocks from this position right here. Let's raise the front portion of the wall here 4 blocks. Let's see what that looks like, okay? Go this way. Yeah, I remember. Ooh. I know, it's just a single block, but I'm so early in the process, I don't want to risk, leaving a mess behind. Alright, so let's go over this way. So that's 1 block, and I need to go up an additional 3. over here. And with this, we've now... We're now half the height that I'm originally projecting this to be, with the gatehouse going to be a bit of a protruding element. And I think, yeah, 2 more blocks on top of that will create a effective wall. And it will still be imposing and still perform its function from a strategic standpoint. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start building it up from here. All right, let's go. And this is, in terms of the detailing and the depth of this is just the beginning. I do want to emphasize that. This is like the base canvas I'm going to be working with. All right, you have a good night, Gabriel. Thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate it, dude. All right. Now we're just going to continue along here. This is going to... Good night, Gabriel. Give us a bunch of nice depth and height to the wall here. It's kind of what we want, really. Point, height and depth are 2 of the most important features we can focus on. So when I start adding in the details later on, because trust me, this is not the end all be all of this. I have that whole block palette for a reason. Okay. Now we've got our 4 wall. And it's starting to take shape, and you'll be able to see more of the castle in the background as I build that as well. But right now we're just going to be doing the exterior walls and shapes like that. So yeah. Like pillar up a little fast. I really should put like scaffolding or something here. Oh yeah. That's actually going to look really nice. When I start adding in the elements for the gatehouse and other parts of it as well, it'll just start popping. So this is still very, very basic, but hey, I'm loving it already. It's going to give me so much extra stuff to work with. Now we move on to this part. This front portion of the wall here is going to need to be in the tower, of course. It's going to need to be a bit different from the rest of it. Since I don't plan to put a wall in this section here, instead want to build like parts of a city. See what happens. Oh yeah, the whole thing activates. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I thought I saw it do something weird, but it's working fine. So. Oh yeah, the whole thing activates all at once. That's good. Alright. No troubleshooting required. Let's start adding in all the details to this section of the wall. Which I think is going to be a big boon for it, really. So, redstone doesn't usually end up being very pretty, unless that's one of the looks that you want to go for. I'm not. I'm wanting this to be kind of rustic seeming, so. But once I get up to this level, I'll then be able to do 1, 2, 3, 3 blocks higher than this position right here, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. Here. This tower is also going to get built as a part of this process, so as I go around, I'll add a layer to it each time. I'll probably need to get more scaffolding, really. Realistically, scaffolding is something that's going to be very, very, very helpful in this build. I am taking a bit of a risk with this shape here, but I think it'll be worth it. Might have been a little too much there, but that's okay. So from here, we're going to go up 3 blocks. And I think I'm just going to go up the first block, like so. I'm not following any particular pattern here, by the way. I'm just going with the whimsy of where my fingers decide to click and press things. It's one of the advantages of doing things this way, is everything just starts to flow and fall into place. And yeah, there are more exotic blocks I could be using, but are they really needed right now? What I have to ask myself is, are those blocks really needed? Like, I was totally thinking about getting some terracotta, and now I'm like, I'm glad I didn't. It would have unnecessarily complicated the stage. Oh, would it have benefited it? Sure. But that's more materials to have to gather, and I'm not really going for a specific color pop or anything like that. I just wanted something that would look kind of realistically natural, real. I think I'm getting there. The important thing is I think I'm getting it. Still have a ways to go, but that's part of the fun here. Getting lots of stuff in here. I think that's the right height. No, that's a block too high. Oops. Since this wall is supposed to be a specific height, I don't want to like add extra to it right now. I want it to be as close to the proper height it's going to be. Now the tower is fine. I think I just miscounted layers at one point. It's no big deal though. Leave the tower as is. I think we'll be fine. But I do need to carry this wall over, so let's go ahead and do that real fast. that, the walls are coming along. I do need to put some light on the top of them. I didn't do that for the other one, but I really should have, so. Go over this way. There we go. I can't get it. Well, I could on that side, actually. I think this will cover me. I think this will be plenty of light up here. Okay. Now let's tackle this tower. This tower is going to be kind of hiding the access way over to that garden there. And we can put structures and hide stuff in this area to make it seem like it's more hidden away. Yes, Mr. Kitty. Cats is talking to me. And they are totally not watching the replay on this. I can already feel my energy level starting to drain, so I'm probably not going to go much past 8:30 with this stream, just because, I mean, it essentially is a school night. I do have work in the morning, so it would actually be kind of nice to, you know, have a regular time of going. I know, it is the thing that you dread the most when you're a kid, having a regular time you go to bed. It's like, it's the one thing you cling to as an adult. It's like, I have to be in bed by this time. Oh, paradoxes. Yes, I call that a paradox. It is. Okay. Oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. Left my water across the room. Nice little Crystal Geyser natural black cherry, for those who are interested. I am one of those weirdos that likes, you know, mineral water and other stuff, so. Alright. So for this turret, or this tower, so to speak, one of the things that I want to do with it, I feel that I need to emphasize this, is this is more of a defensive fortification than the others. This one's more meant to be like, this is the command post, it has archers on it, so it's got to be a bit higher up, elevated above the fort wall, but still lower than the rest of the castle. I think it will make sense to do this one probably about 2 blocks tall, or taller than the surrounded area here. Yeah, that sounds about right. Go up the 2 blocks here, that'll put it roughly on par with the garden there. The garden, of course, has a defensive aspect as well. I think, well, actually the garden will end up being a little taller than it, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna throw in some stuff here to connect this up. And there will be a kind of an archway and stuff along here. So let's bring this section of it up to same height as the sectional wall here. So I think I'll bring this little back portion of the wall up to about the same height. This will allow me to have some interesting architectural features that I can build and work my way around. So. If you're ever going for pushing your limits and stuff, confusing structural shapes, confusing builds, those are actually really quite powerful tools to work with. See, now this, if you were the commander here, you'd have an excellent view of the approaching army as they try to head towards your gate. That's part of what I built this for, so. Good to know that worked. As far as this, I think I'll bring it across like so. There. And we'll connect them up. One here. Like so. Okay. I'm not sure how this happened, but it happened. Now we've got kind of a connection over here, which we can then build that into the main castle walls. I don't know if this is well lit up enough, so torch. Okay. So we've tackled a good chunk of the complicated areas, actually. This side wall here, that's going to be a bit tricky, but this is all part of what's eventually going to be the main palace, the main structure in the center here. So I want to bring up that portion of the wall up a bit more. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why I'd put this here. Actually, I do recall I was going to leave this a bit open, have it kind of like be this area that extended out, then have the walls just sort of come over this way. Don't know why I didn't end up doing that. Let's tweak this a bit. I think I can make it work. Okay. Yeah, I can bring this up to about the right level. So let's go ahead and add a bit of texturing in here. Like so. Yeah. There we go. And this is going to start creating some good shape for us. Okay. Consolidate our blocks a little bit. Solves that extra little bit of time that we need for this. Let's bring the wall up to about this height here. One of my kitty cats wants out of the bedroom. Well, it's okay, kitty cat. No, actually, he's over by the water dish. Just making noise, trying to get my attention. He just made some commentary on that one. He doesn't agree with me, but you know I'm right, Mr. Kitty. Let's throw that on there just for good measure. That. If you really wanted to be specific with it, you could start stacking the different blocks together to make it look like you have certain effects that are happening here. I'm not ignoring that possibility, and I am doing it in some places, but I'm not making it consistent. I don't really need to. I don't really want to. Alright. So we have that wall in the back there. It's brought up to a good height. I think this can be turned into... Honestly, it may get to the point where we have to shave a good chunk of this hill down. But let's see what all is at this particular Y level. Now, you could pull up the F3 screen, but I'm just going to run around in a circle. We are 2 blocks above the garden. That's where this is. So it probably wouldn't hurt for it to be a little bit taller than the garden. Say maybe for the next floor to be a bit higher than the garden, say about 4 blocks above it. So that way we could have kind of some passageways that would be cool. So I could do a bit more with this space. I'm just trying to think about what would make the most sense, both from an architectural standpoint and if you're building a castle standpoint, what's going to be the most logical thing you're going to do here. This is going to be one of those high-walled areas, well fortified, so it couldn't hurt to have a decent bit of height here. That. I'm going to continue this stair stepping up here so it's consistent. Here. Arr. There we go. Roll up to the height of this section that I already built up a bit. That creates a bit of an imposing look, actually. Doesn't it? Yeah, it's a very nice and imposing look. Now, getting into this tower right here is going to be a little tricky, but I think maybe we could do something like a door off to the side or something. Maybe something in this area, just going around a little bit. There's things we could do, or maybe something inside this room. This is going to be like the servants' quarters. Ooh. Creative juices. Definitely getting some creative inspiration here. So, and of course there will be like stables and other stuff in this area. So yeah, I think I can make that work. Hiding the massive sheep farm down there is also kind of nice. So I think, since this Y level is the one that will go around to 2 blocks above, I should raise it up 2 more, but I'll continue raising it up after about this point. Yeah, that makes sense to me. There we go. 2 more blocks up this way, and that will create this nice imposing height feeling. That does mean that down there I need to make some changes to that, but that's okay. Thing is I can add terraces, I can add stepways. I actually want to put like this broad walkway up the back area here. So there's options to work with here, and I'm liking that. Okay. Now we've got our wall height for this section here. I left this right here because I think I am going to extend it forward a bit, but this gives us, basically this is now the height in which I need to start shaving down a good chunk of this mountain, which that's only 4 layers. That's not a big deal at all. That's not a big deal to do at all. So now that we've got that section over there, though, I do need to make sure that I kind of block off this area with a wall of similar height. So I think the easiest and most logical, because you have to factor that into it, way to do that is actually here. See, now we're already at the same, the 2 blocks above the garden space. We can go up 2 more from here. And this section of the wall here can be another feature that we add into it over time. Now we're getting to the area where we're going to have to start mapping out where the main hall is. And to do that, I'm unfortunately going to have to tear down most of this. It's good for a starter setup. It's really, really good, but I've outgrown it. So it's 2 blocks above, so I need to go 1 block higher up. Okay. This is the same height as over there. Now, I'm going to fade in this area a bit as well. Like so. So it does seem to have that kind of extra bit in there. And then I can have a large room, something viewing platform right here, something to overlook the area. Whilst we also have this, which is accessible from inside the castle. So that'll be inside the main structure of the castle. Yeah, so there we go. We've got castle walls going up. Does it look perfect? No. Is it very irregular? Yes. That's the point. It's not supposed to be one of those instantaneously amazing looking builds. This is very strategic, actually. So with that in mind, I do need to go get more scaffolding, and for that, I'm going to need string. Fortunately, I have a mob farm. Down over here. And I think I will eventually have a large underground storage space, maybe like kind of a vault or something. I don't know. There's a couple of different things I could do with that. That'll be plenty. Alright, so let's go back up. I'm going to clear my inventory of the blocks right here. I'm going to spend these next, 10-15 minutes just going around and prepping to make sure I have everything that I need for the rest of the build. This was impressive. This was a nice early build. It's surprisingly impressive that I got it as far as I did. So, splash of blue does kind of clash, but I think it'll make more sense when I start putting in the profession blocks. There we go. Let's go grab some bamboo. If only I had some growing somewhere, huh? Oh. That said, I think maybe the next thing I'll do after I get a few scaffolding put in place is stuff to make access a little more assured. There we go. Yeah, get lots of bamboo for lots of scaffolding. I know, I should probably also harvest my sugarcane. I need to make a bamboo farm. It is on my list, and trust me, I will be making a bamboo farm inside somewhere. Not sure where, but there will be a bamboo farm inside one of the towers. Bamboo, sugarcane, melon, pumpkins. I'm going to try to put as many automated farms as I can inside the castle. And try to get as many of them in the spawn point as possible as well. That'll just give me the ability to have a ridiculous amount of resources. I don't have to worry about having to collect things. I do villager trading for an evening or afternoon or something, and have a bunch of stuff from that too, and then not have to worry about going back to resupply. See, now that's already starting to look more like a proper castle. It's got some height to it, it's got some elevation to it, and that's really nice. There we go. Alright, let's go up to our little staging area at the front gate. This is the old sheep pen, and it's starting to get dark, which, yeah. I believe I left a workbench up here. Oh, I did not leave a crafting table up here. Okay, let's do that, and all the scaffolding, please, and all the scaffolding, please, and I do not have enough bamboo to use all the string that I grabbed. That's okay. That is okay. One of my cats is trying to get out again. That was a parkour fail. Okay. Access on that area. Saw something down there moving. Maybe. For this, don't know what I'll do quite yet in this area. I guess I'm gonna figure it out. Actually, that makes a lot of sense to do it this way. Put it directly on top of the observer, which is a solid block. There we go. Each time the piston moves, it's just going to activate. It's increasing the frequency of its activations by a factor of 2, but also it's reducing the lag because having all the redstone engaged is just really hard on the computer. I think that's what was giving me some stuttering issues last time I was playing. Noticed that it was strange, and it was like, wonder. So that's why I did that. It still works just fine. Just it's a small tweak. Okay. We can still make our way over this way, but I want there to be like a broad walkway up this way. So to get to that area, that whole trading hall, there's going to be this long hall, which I think I might turn that into the storage room. Yeah, before I shave down the rest of it, I think this is my storage room. This is going to become my storage room for the time being. So that'll be the next episode, is me working in this space, making it a storage room. I think that'll work out quite nicely. And yes, I do know there's a zombie villager in there. He's trapped for the time being. I did not put any lights on that wall at all, did I? It's the right height, so I can have a walkway coming out of this area, go across to the tower. Yeah. Alright, let's go and break into the tower real fast. And then I'm going to scaffold all the way up to the top. The necessary part of mob proofing, I'm going to light this up. Okay, that works. Now we've got a temporary bridge across to that side. Let's see. Oh yeah. And that is very temporary. But I think I've reached the point where it's time to start planning out the shape. So I'm going to have to relocate all of this, which is fine. I know the deep slate, gold, lapis, redstone ore blocks. I have a plan. It's for the roof to give them very unique looks and textures. Pardon me, looks and textures. Trust me, it'll look awesome. Alright, well, I think let's go as high up as I can. Because when did that ever go wrong, huh? Alright. That's a pad so I can clutch and come down quickly on the, or come very down very quickly on the way. Wow. I completely butchered that sentence, but that's okay. Gotta be approaching build limit somewhere. Really? Alright, let's see. Hang on. Trying to skip the night. Nope. Okay, you guys are going to be difficult about it. Let's go to my treehouse bed. Cannot get to me in here. Oh. There we go. They are loud. I think that's tall enough. I don't need to go up super high. As we go up the scale of what this castle is going to be, it starts to grow, doesn't it? So, even though this is, compared to what some YouTubers have done, a fairly small build, some players of this game have just built some gargantuan structures. I don't need to compare myself to them. This is the scale that I'm comfortable building in right now. Okay. This is taking a ridiculously long time. I'm glad I put that crash pad down at the bottom. But I don't think the castle will go anywhere near build limit. That's simply just impractical, and it would make the scale of the whole thing just be off. It would look weird. But I think I can make it pretty tall. Some of the towers can go up pretty dang tall. Oh, I'm near the top. Yeah, so we've got the entryway here, the 4-wall there, side wall there, large tower. That's the trading hall, which is going to be underneath a portion of the main portion of the castle. That's going to be partially buried, I guess is the way to describe that. Then, of course, we've got the garden on the side there and the tower off the side. Yeah. Okay. Definitely see that. So with that, that's everything for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. A geode. Anxiety inducing. I am pressing shift. This is going to take a minute. It's still breaking. Bouncing on the bed. That was fun, though. Not gonna lie, that was fun. Alright, I saw a shape in the ravine over there. I've not gone in that ravine the entire time that I've been here, and I'm like, I want to go investigate. I think it might be a geode near the surface, which would be surprising, but not impossible. Oh. And the thing is, having a geode inside the spawn chunks this close to my base. Nope, it is not a geode. Not even remotely close to being a geode. Oh well. Worth it to look, so. How do I get out of here? I'll also make do with some of these caves as well. Oh, there's a chicken in there. Oh. As I do have some extensive caves underneath, I might incorporate some of those in the design, but is this the 0-0 exact spawn? Alright everyone, thank you for tuning in. We got a lot done today. We'll be getting more done next time. With that, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This has been Wolf. Have a good night.